After playing COD for over 20 years, it's rare that a weapon is added that piques my interest. But the return of the D13 Sector, first seen in BO3, brings a fresh way to play into BO6. It recently got a buff that makes it a lot more user-friendly, albeit still a bit inconsistent. I do appreciate getting to grind out a new gun, especially one that lends itself to potentially hitting clips. We'll go through the best attachments, of which there are only a few choices, the pros, cons, and lastly my overall feelings towards this new weapon following the recent improvements. The D13 Sector doesn't have as much customization as other primary weapons, so there's really only two attachments that are must-haves, the long barrel and the overclock stock. The long barrel boosts sprint to fire speed and overall ADS speed, making it feel very snappy. The overclock stock helps with aim movement speed, sprinting movement speed, and fire rate. Because there's only 4 attachment slots, there's no reason not to use both of these. Both the barrel and the stock slots only have one option, so it's really not much of a decision to make. For the ammunition, I found myself sometimes using the ricochet blades if it was pretty close quarters like stakeout or bullet. But the newest buff that made the ricochet rounds a one-hit kill did slow the fire rate just a bit. I do like these, however, because you get 3 extra shots and you have the potential to still get kills if you miss. The explosive rounds though are a waste in my opinion because I found myself getting hit markers even when I shot right at an enemy. You can see it here where I shoot an enemy's feet twice and still get hit markers both times. That inconsistency is plenty enough to make me not want to use the explosive rounds. If you choose to not use an ammo mod, you'll have a 5-round magazine, a quick fire rate, and what I found to be the most consistent build. As for the crossbar, this works similar to the tactical laser that allows you to fire from the hip, but it will zoom in a bit. This actually takes away the center dot and makes it a little more difficult to use, and it's really just not worth it in my opinion. Overall, the ADS speed for the Sector is actually pretty good after you apply the long barrel and the overclock stock. The thing that stands out the most to me is the fun factor of this weapon. It doesn't play like a traditional assault rifle, marksman rifle, or sniper. It feels different enough from a typical Call of Duty gun that it's refreshing to use. It also has the ability to hit collaterals, which makes going for clips a lot of fun. Because it's a special weapon, you don't sacrifice your primary, so you can always use it as a backup instead of your main gun. Even though it's fun to use, it does come with some serious cons. For one, the hit registration seems to be super inconsistent. Some of that could be the bullet velocity, which is pretty slow, so anyone who's more than a few feet out takes a second for the blades to get to them. Other times I've shot straight at someone and still not hit. There were so many times where I shot and moved on to the next enemy thinking it would hit and it didn't, which ended up getting me killed. Also, the magazine only having 5 blades is a bit of a bummer, but I understand because it's a secondary and not a primary. I wish there was more customization because the only real decision is what ammo to use. The lack of range is also a huge drawback as I found myself having to pretty much only play face-off maps like Stakeout, Racket, and Lifeline for the close quarters nature. I tried taking it to something that is considered small but has a bit more range opportunities like Nuketown and I was severely mismatched. If you were to take it into traditional 6v6 or 10v10 maps primarily, you would get fried. Overall, the D13 Sector is a fun departure from the meta weapons, and for a sniper like me, it's fun to add it to my rotation to add variety to the types of clips I'm going for. It was never meant to shake up the meta and become a top 5 weapon, but it allows for another gun to grind. And it isn't that difficult to complete camo challenges on if that's something you're into. If you haven't tried it, give it a shot and mess around with it for a few games. It takes some getting used to, but doesn't have that many levels to go through, so you could certainly grind through all the levels quickly. Flat. Single. Single. Almost a collat. Oh, it was a collat. Was it collat ender?
It was a collat, but it would have been a triple if that wasn't me. It was an enemy.
Why don't you get your fat shell out of my face?
Dude, I can't stand that gun's noise. Alright.
It's so bad.
Hola.